Happy Wednesday. It's Wednesday today. This is really weird because I usually do a live video on a Tuesday and a Thursday, but I'm done by Wednesday, so that's kind of cool. I'm going to try and go live to Instagram today. So I'm going to quickly do that. It's like a really convoluted process. Okay, go live. Nice. Now that I have a sort of more stable internet connection, we'll see if it's not going to absolutely go crazy on me by trying to stream to 3 places at once. So we'll see how this goes. But I'm so happy that you've joined me today. It's a very dreary day here on the Sunshine Coast, and I love it. I love this weather because it's always sunny here in Australia. So it's really nice to just have really dreary, rainy weather. It's so nice. Anyway, so today's topic is how do I strengthen my relationship with God? I love this topic. I'm such a nerd for this, so I'm so excited. But before we get into it, as I said, this is going live in a few different places. So if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. And also you can hit the bell to get notified next time I go live, because I try to do this on a sort of regular basis, but sometimes I switch the days around depending on what my week looks like. So why would you even want to do that in the first place? Because if you're a Christian woman who's struggling with your mental health, or maybe with emotional regulation, or neurodivergence, or whatever's going on mentally, if you're just struggling to make it through the day, and just getting out of bed in the morning is a real struggle, whether people know about it or not. I have been there and I know what that's like. And I feel like God's called me to actually share my story and to share how He has transformed me, broken me free from anxiety and depression, and so that I can actually fulfill the calling that God's placed on my life. I believe everybody who's on this earth has something that they have been called to do by God. And I feel like one of the enemy's best tactics is to attack us mentally so that we technically could fulfill the calling, but our mind is stopping us from being freed up to actually do that. So that's my heart. That's what I am here to share. So if that resonates with you, make sure you subscribe, or if you're watching on Facebook or on Instagram or on my website, just keep watching there if that's what you like to do. So how do I strengthen my relationship with God? As always, there's a blog post that goes with this. I've put that in the description if you prefer to read instead of watch. But I'm just going to quickly go through the points in the blog post. So how do I strengthen my relationship with God? Habit number 1. Oh, and by the way, I do these things myself personally, and a lot of you probably know I grew up in a Christian home, but it wasn't until I started doing these habits that I'm talking about that I actually started to develop an actual personal relationship with God, and felt close to Him. So that's kind of where I'm at with these. So habit number 1, surrender your heart to Him. You might think, how is this a habit? This sounds like a one-time thing. This sounds like something that you do when you first become a Christian. You give your life to God and you lay it at His feet and say that you're now not living for yourself anymore. You're living for Him, and whatever He asks you to do, you're going to do it because you are serving Him for the rest of your life. And yes, that is what we do when we first become Christians, but I actually do this regularly. I kind of do this on a daily basis. So I've just got notes here. So give Him your fears, your struggles, your dreams. Surrender those things to Him. Excuse me. It's like 7:30 this morning, so it's actually 7:43 in the morning. So my voice is still waking up. So what was I saying? Yes, so you do this. Well, I do this regularly because I don't know about you, but I get distracted. And if life goes by and I forget about, I get out of my habits of prayer and Bible reading and things, and I'm not as diligent with them, I can so easily, my concentration and my brain, instead of being aligned with Him, can so easily skew to the left or to the right, and all of a sudden I don't feel close to God anymore. So I actually have a habit of every morning praying again, like, God, I give you my life afresh. Everything I'm doing, I give you my day, and I kind of walk through the day that I have ahead, and I I give it all to him, and I say, God, it's for you. It's not for me. I'm not living for myself. And I think that really blesses God, and he loves that. But it also helps me with my heart to realign my heart and remind myself of who I'm doing this for. So that's point number one. Habit number two, spend time in his word. This is quite obvious, isn't it? But how many of us actually do this regularly on a regular basis? I do this every night. I say I do this every night. I'm meant to do it every night. Some nights I miss it for whatever reason, but my schedule is mornings is for prayer, and then night is for Bible reading. That's just what works with my brain. If I kind of do things in a different order, I can't concentrate properly. So that's what I've found through trial and error that works best for me. But find something that works for you. So Bible reading, it is such an important thing to do. I was just talking, I think, on Monday, how I'm such a nerd for the Bible. You need to actually study it instead of just reading it and just kind of trying to take in whatever comes in and then letting go whatever doesn't come in. Actually take time to really labor in it and study the word. What points have I got here? So when you spend time with his word, in his word, you start to understand his heart and understand his voice more clearly. You'll hear his voice guiding you throughout your day, throughout the decisions that you're making and things. So you'll start to understand who he is, and also start to recognize his voice when he speaks to you. And then I've just got a couple of tips here. So pray before you read the Bible. Ask God to give you wisdom to understand what you're reading. Start small. If the idea of reading the Bible is crazy huge to you, maybe you haven't done that before. Start small. Start with an easy book and just read like a paragraph or two every day and just see how that goes. And then third tip is probably most important. Do a Bible study. There's free Bible studies online that you can do. Blue Letter Bible is good for like commentaries. Get a study Bible if that helps you. That really helps me. YouTube is great. Search Mike Winger on YouTube. He is my favorite. I love the way that his mind works and how he just is very he can explain biblical principles so easily and clearly in a way that makes it easy for me to understand. And I understand the Bible so much more clearly just from listening to him. And he's got some really great, I liked his earlier Bible studies where he's actually presenting them to a crowd, in his church. They were really fun to watch and just mind-blowing as well. And then, so habit number one, surrender your heart to him on a regular basis. Habit number two, spend time in his word. Habit number three, make prayer a daily conversation. So again, this is a habit. So even if it's just 5 minutes in the morning, if you haven't been praying, start with just committing to a time every morning that you're going to sit down for 5 to 10 minutes and just share your heart with God. Be honest, be vulnerable. He knows everything anyway. He knows everything about you. He knows you more than you know yourself. But he wants to hear from you. He longs to hear from you. So share your heart with him, and you will grow closer to him through doing that. And the last little tip I have is to make an appointment with the Lord and keep it. I believe Corrie ten Boom was the one who said this. And it's so true, because oftentimes, if you say, I'm going to pray every morning, you'll get up in the morning and you'll be like, I just don't feel it today. Like, I'm just, not that I don't want to spend time with God, but I feel like my brain is everywhere. My mind's going in different places, and I'm just not going to be able to concentrate. And there's no point. Make an appointment with God and keep it. Do it anyway, no matter how you feel, and just speak to him and share with him that you're struggling with this and that you're struggling to keep your mind focused on him. Ask him for help with that, and just make it a habit. And you're honoring God by doing that. That's all my tips. I have more information in the blog post, so click the blog in the description to read more tips on each of those. But that's pretty much all I had to share. Speaking about prayer, I actually created a free guide that is actually about spiritual attack and how I combat spiritual attack through prayer every day. So what I do on a daily basis, and it's like a bit of a tool too. It comes with like a little tracker to try and make a habit out of that. If you feel like that could help you, there's a link to that in the description. Click the link, send me your email, and I'll email that off to you. Just a free little gift for you. So if that interests you, you can definitely do that. And as always, I have the private community as well, which is just so beautiful. It's where my heart is at the moment. So if you want deeper help and you want to hear more of my personal story and all of that, I can see the video is lagging a bit. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, yeah, that I go deeper in the Facebook group. That is also linked in the description as well. So click on that to join, and that's free as well. Okay, that's all I had to share. I will see you next week. Bye.